For today's daily challenge, I was able to break 50,000. If you watch the full video after this, you'll be able to see that. And the main way I did this was a combo, depending on which point of the game is. Sometimes it was an infinite combo, sometimes it was just very good synergy, using gifts for a guard and deep offering that has remove consume on it. So gifts for a guard will make a spell cost 0 and give it consume. If you do that on a spell that already has the remove consume from internal stone, the card will just cost 0 and will be free. So gifts for the guard will thin out my deck of my other spells. And then if I get it down to small enough of a deck, I can just keep cycling my 2 deep offerings with one another, giving me an infinite amount of incants. If I don't have quite a small enough deck, I also have to use an offering token to make sure I go infinite. But this is how I was able to get a 6-turn Fell Rush and an 8-turn Seraph boss rush for a score of over 50,000. If you watched, like I said, this full video, you'll be able to see this combo in action as you go. Welcome to the daily challenge from February 26th. For this, we have Stygian Guard with Tethys. Tethys is one of my favorite champions, just because between Tethys and the Stygian Guard, you have some of the best combo cards, in my opinion. We also have Awoken. They're exiled clans. We get Root Seeds, which is a very strong starter. Our Mutators come prepared, so we get 12 additional cards in our deck at the start. This has pros and cons. Pros is you can get some much stronger starting cards this way. The cons is you have a much larger deck size to begin with, so you see less of the cards you want early on. In the battles when they're more needed, this also means if you're going for a combo deck, you have a harder time because you have to purge more things from it. Musical chairs can be difficult because if you are shuffling things around, your tank is not always going to be in front where it should be to tank hits. Exposing your backline, in this case Tethys, who is usually pretty weak on health. And then the last one is Hollow. Our units can't be healed. This kind of hurts us with Awoken because there's some decent heal cards in there. So that is not going to be helpful. So that's a pure downside one for us. Musical chairs is more or less downside. It does shuffles enemies as well. And Come Prepared has a little bit of both. The scores currently are sitting in the mid to slightly upper 40,000. So we'll see how well we can do. Alright, so we have Rage Talos. This one's tough because it can easily wipe out your bottom floor if you're not careful. We have Spell Shield Fell. I find this one a little bit annoying just because it can block your high damage spells when you want to do a spell weakness strategy. And we have Seraph the Chase. This is also a bad one for spell weakness because you can't ramp it up over multiple turns. You kind of have to use it right away or you're going to lose a lot of the effectiveness. Our random starting cards, 2 offering tokens are nice. Helps us dig through the deck. Glimmers are decent because it's still AoE damage. Unnamed Tomed. Typically never really need more than one of these. There's a few few bosses that are worth silencing in some units. Large deck size, Ancient Synergy is pretty decent. I always enjoy Crit Builder. I find that very strong. Frenzied Swarm will be good if you put it on -1 cost and holdover. Flash Freeze is good backline clear. We have some draw, some buffs for our units is nice. And a Quake is never a bad thing. Starting spells, we can do plus 20 damage stings. We don't have any sting generations to start with, so I'm going to skip that for the spell weakness. That can sometimes help get earlier or better boss kills. For champions, I like combo and incant deck, so I really like the Conduit. Handheld Totem Spell Weakness is also pretty good at getting flying boss kills, especially if we give it that quick book we have in our deck, but I'm going to take Conduit still. Always make sure to turn on the challenge to get the most points as possible. Alright, so to start with, we have a slight issue in that if I try to play my champion here, he is just going to die. So I'm going to play him floor 2, and I'm just going to use all my spells. Alright, I did keep one of those on the bottom, just because that means I have to deal with less things. Alright. So this is a good hand. If I do this, this lets me clear out 3 things, which I would want. I'm going to start with this because I don't need 2 Frenzied Swarms. Okay, that's really good. I can clear out both of those nice and easy. And I'm going to give this quick because that'll be more useful against the boss. Really not much of a way to get that floor 1 kill, but this will at least give me the floor 2 kill with no damage. I did miss the gold, which is unfortunate, but we'll continue. I'm going to take more offering tokens just because I have a large deck size. I want to get through it. Restoring Retreat, I typically like. It does help us descend units. However, I have such a large deck and nothing to descend yet. I'm going to skip it. I will take that Titan Sentry. It is a good tank. Alright, we have multi-strike in health, both super strong if I get an incant unit, which I do. So both of these are quite good. The incant Rage scales up higher in attack because the Rage will continuously increase. It adds 4 attack per incant versus 2. But just to make it a little beefier, I'm going to get the Siren of the Sea. Alright, I'm going to waste most of my spells down here. Wildwood Sap is useless. Alright, that is a kill. I'm going to take another Crypt Builder. So Animus of Will and Shattered Cell are both very strong. If this was the spell weakness one, I might take that one. Especially with the 2 Steel Enhancers and the Root Seeds, Animus Will is good, but I tend to minimize my units. You're guaranteed to draw 1 banner unit per turn at least, as long as there's some left. So I try not to have more than 2 or 3, because otherwise I might draw the wrong one on turn 3. So some of the ones I want, these are both ones I don't mind seeing turn 1. This one would get more incants early on. This one would tank some damage for the first wave. I'm going to go Stygian Banner and hope for the Totem. Incant Armor is a very good upgrade. Sap Totem is fun, however the 3 costs kind of hurts it. Don't think it's needed here. I'm going to give this guy Incant Armor, and we'll give it health. That'll just make him a really big tank that blocks our path, which is good. I'm going to purge a card. I'm going to start getting rid of useless cards. Wildwood Sap's completely useless, so it goes away. I could purge another card here, wouldn't be a bad idea. Especially since this round there is no merchants ever. But I'm going to save it for the time being. Alright. This is not what I need, because I don't want to lose this guy right away. Still, unfortunately, going to lose the Tethys. We'll see if that ends up mattering. So I could have changed the order of my units, and that would have helped in such a situation. But we're not going to, and see if I can still get through this. Alright, that's just going to die. Shame it didn't die a turn earlier. I could have hit this for 60, but that's still not going to give me an early rush kill. And this will. Well, this will get the kill. Don't need to play all these spells, because I'm still killing anyways, but it was just more fun. Alright, these guys here, I really like Deep Offering. It's a fun combo card, especially in Covenant 1, where you don't have any curses, blights in your deck. Later Covenants, it becomes more difficult to use as a combo card because you do start with those 3 dead weights. But here I don't, so I'm going to take it. And I don't need more units, I have my 2 I want, and I'm going to take the draw. Alright, this is exactly what I want for my Deep Offerings, to remove Consume. And a plus 10 power. I am very shy on gold, which I don't like. So I'm going to start getting rid of things I don't really want to see in my hand. So that's 1 Train Steward and a Titan's Gratitude. Titan Gratitude is not a bad card. However, I have better spells in here. The Crypt Builders or the Ancient Synergy are both better and more deserving of upgrades. Especially since my Tethys will get to the -3 state for spells. So I'm going to get rid of that one early rather than later, because it's a discard card and I already have several other cards, including Daze, Frenzied Swarm, that I'd rather keep in hand. So this has 15 health. That is quite a bit. So the silence does trigger before that armor does, which is great. To get 15 damage on him, I do believe I need to cast that there, unfortunately. So I can keep him in place. And just try to do as much damage as possible before this last round. There we go. Crit Builder to kill it. That's just a healer, so it doesn't matter. No damage, really good setup. And the immediate boss rush kill. It's going well so far. Guardian Stone's pretty good for helping me tank everything. Gives Tethys a little bit more life, but I don't really... Well, it's either I get things killed early with Crit Builder or I put Tethys on a different floor at the moment. My 3 offering tokens and the 2 steel enhancers help me get something in front of it. I'm also guaranteed to draw one of my 2 tanks in the first round, and those should last at least 1 round before needing to buff my Tethys. Healing's bad. I don't like Pyre Shards. I don't think the effect's good enough for its ability, and I don't have any other spikes, so skip those. For my spells, I have a few options. I can go gold or Merchant of Magic. However, there are some specific artifacts I really want. So I'm going to go for the artifact, which I don't get. However, Advanced Prototype is useful. And let's get rid of another spell. Well, let's see. I have 3 Trained Stewards still. This would be good in the next round, just to help clear out the top floor, and it gets rid of that permanently. I could also do it on something like a Frozen Lance or a Glimmer, just to help get rid of those. I'm going to do it on a Frozen Lance. As far as dupes go, I'm going to dupe a Deep Offering. 2 Deep Offerings does allow me to combo potentially later. Alright, I'm just gonna drop my units out. And I just want to keep playing as many spells as possible. There we go. This is exactly what I needed. So I'm just going to keep playing spells to buff up my armor and defense, because I'm going to need that against all of those stealth abilities that are coming up. Alright, I do get the kill, which is great. So far, the deck is on track to a good high 40,000 point score, though not what I need for a flying boss kill. What I really want is some spell damage. Now, Gifts for a Guard is fun. If I look at what I'm looking here, so I do get another Merchant of Magic plus Concealed Caverns that can help me find some of the more interesting combos. And the last one's the Helvins on this side. So if I can get like a second remove consume at the same time I get the consume damage, you can put that in a crypt builder and it can really help pull out your deck. I'm also going to take it though because I already have the 2 remove consume deep offerings. So when I play a Gifts for the Guard on something that has remove consume, it does not gain consume, it just makes it cost 0. I mean, here's the other remove consume that I want. I don't have the plus 20 damage. I'm going to make that cost 1. That way I can easily play it. I'm going to take the Stygian Guard consumable. Nope, I was hoping for the spell weakness one, because that would have really helped out. Honestly, I should have looked at this Concealed Caverns before I re-rolled. In the case I got an Awoken Rail Spike from it, or the Consume add 2 spell weakness to every unit, because those are both great targets for that. I have a lot of gold, so I'm going to start taking cards out of here. The question is just, what do I want to remove? I'm going to remove 1 Frenzied Swarm. I have a bunch of discard. And I'm going to remove my 2 Frozen Lances. I'm just reducing the size of my deck. Alright, I just finished the last spell iteration. We're at 27 minutes, so that took about 3 minutes to ramp up my damage. If you get a lot of infinite combos, some of them are quicker than others, some are very, very slow. Had the flying kill, so I'm going to end this. This is going to give me a turn 6 boss rush, so that's going to be plus a 60% to my score total. None of these are needed in my deck, so skip them all. And just to make my combo more consistent, I want to draw my pieces early on. I'm going to take the +1 draw. 9% of the time I take +1 draw. This turn is not any different. Alright. There's still some really good artifacts I can look for. So this one will make it a little bit quicker, which is nice. And I'm going to take the Quill because I am giving my spells Consume, and that causes them to deal 30 damage, just to help clear out any enemies in the way so that I can go through and just directly attack the flying boss. I don't have to deal with killing them with my multi-strike unit. Now, I did say there's some good artifacts that I'm looking for, so let's actually show you what artifacts I want in the clan list. What I'm looking for is I was looking for Lightstone Casing. Lightstone Casing allows me to put a third -1 onto my card that draws 3 spells. It gives them Consume. It also gives me access to, if I look into Stygian, double Incant, so the combo is shorter, and Kinstone Totem, so each time I discard cards, I gain that much Ember. This one, plus the Deep Offerings, is my typical way of going infinite if I use Deep Offering in a deck. This way it's a little bit different. I'm going to take the -3. The -3 will let me play all these 3 spells for free when I draw them. Alright. So I'm going to play my Sentry top floor just to kill everything. I'm going to discard that's the most useless of all these spells. So I'm going to do this just so I don't get the Ember Drain. Saving my mana because I want to draw this again to play it. So So I just want to keep going through my deck. And I'm just going through my deck, that way I can get this big enough no matter what, that when I get to the final boss, right, I already have the combo, see, I can just keep doing, oh, never mind, I am one short. So I can just, I'm going to get rid of those 3 cards. If I can't kill this right away, now I could just combo off, but I can. So there's not really much of a need to do this. But it's pretty efficient, see. And now I not only get the +2/+2 with the multi-strike, so that's +4 damage per spell. I also deal an additional 2, so at least each spell I cast gets me 6 closer to killing the boss. I'm going to take another Deep Offering. It just helps me get closer to my combo quicker. And then as far as spells go, I'm going to go to this side. I'm going to purge some stuff, and I'm going to dupe something. Now, I'm going to re-roll this. There's that spell casing. If I went the other side, would have been really nice, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to purge 2 cards out of here. We'll get rid of 1 Train Steward. And we're going to get rid of the Frenzied Swarm. And then I'm going to dupe. Now, I could dupe another Deep Offering. That would be good. But I'm going to dupe the Gift for a Guard. So Deep Offering would get me to my combo sooner. It gives me more chances to hit this with Gift for a Guard. However, Gift for a Guard itself allows me to get my combo pieces into hand. And Gift for a Guard, hitting Gifts for a Guard is nice because then it just chains for a turn. Now, I could save my gold. Earlier, there was no one over 50,000. I should get a very early flying boss kill, so I'm going to purge as many unnecessary cards as possible. The more spells I purge, or units, I can get rid of one of those, the sooner I can get my combo off and get the win. Now, getting the combo is going to be its own issue, because I have a lot of cards to get through. So one thing you can do if you are trying to maximize your points you're getting is you can set up your deck in such a way that you get your combo going off the, you figure out what turn you combo off, and once you figure out what turn you combo off, you set it up so your combo happens with your incant unit on the floor where Seraph is for the kill. Now, sometimes you do get lucky. It looks like here I will be able to get my combo off almost, if not definitely. On the, well, maybe not. Ah, great. So it does look like I believe I should be able to combo off this turn. Let's take a look at this. I'm currently at 38 minutes. Well, 38 and a half. We'll see how long it takes to get this kill if this is the turn I combo. Alright, so that only took 30 seconds. I got lucky. I didn't have the infinite combo going yet. However, since I still had one of my crypt builders in my deck that got 0 with the Tethys, and I could discard and draw cards, I was able to bring down Seraph's health into kill range without having to go through an infinite combo. Now this is an 8-turn boss rush. The base points for Seraph here is 9,000. So I'm going to times that by 1.8. It's going to give me 16,000 points, I believe. 16,000 points will put me over 50k, which is great. So I'm going to hit enter. So the nice thing there is, as I mentioned, if you set up on the wrong floor when you would get your combo off, you can determine that and reset the battle. However, I happened to get lucky, so Seraph the Chase goes either in one of two directions. It continuously goes down one at a time or up one at a time, and I knew I wasn't going to get the combo in the first 2 turns, so I set up on the bottom floor, and it worked out great for me. So there's my score, 52,295. At this time, this is the first place score, 5,000 greater than, almost 5,000, about 4,500 greater than second place, who is usually a pretty good player. They did get the 5-turn Fell Rush, which is nice, but they didn't get a early Seraph the Chase to kill. So they went with Animus of Wills, very good card, as well as Sweeps. So they just kept a lot of units and shuffled them about. They also took the Channel Songs, which go great with the Animus of Wills. And they went the Spell Weakness Tethys. That one is good. It allows you to get some of these early flying kills. For example, it's probably how they got this turn 5 boss rush. However, it's not as combo-y as Conduit Tethys. So they had a 1 turn less boss rush than me for Fell. They had a 3 turn instead of an 8 turn for Seraph, so I got a lot of points there. They didn't do as well on round 2 or on round 6. They did have more gold because like I said, I purged a bunch of cards at the end just to make sure I could get my combo earlier, which is a good idea if you have a combo deck and you know the combo works. All right. That's it for today's challenge. Hopefully you can view this video and review it and find it useful as you have further challenges. The nice thing about Stygian is you can, especially if you have Tethys, you can combo out despite of the mutators, if they're detrimental, like hollow or musical chairs, or if even if they aid you or somewhat aid you with something like come prepared. All right, good luck in your future dailies.